Wow. Wow. Just wow. That's all I have to say about this. I did not know who Tony Bobolinski is. I was going to say Bobolinski, but apparently it's Bobolinski if Adam is correct because I downloaded the podcast today. That's right. I'm Aces Fentanyl. I'm exactly what my username says I am. I am deadly in small doses, right? So I decided to listen to the podcast because I'd never even heard this name before. I don't know what's going on. And after reading the show description, which let's give the lackey credit, everybody. I mean, Adam sits down with Hunter Biden's former business partner, Tony Bobolinski. Boy, that's such a name. All right, so Tony outlines how he came to be involved with Hunter Biden and why he went from partner to whistleblower and handed over incriminatory information to the FBI. This show description sounds almost newsworthy, right? Um, Tony explains how he saw the media completely black out his story and gaslight the American people and remembers the time Congressman Adam Schiff accused him of being part of a Kremlin disinformation operation. Well, that's the entire Republican Party. That is that. But okay, Tony expresses that the scandal goes much further than just a laptop and even beyond the Biden family. I can only assume that this podcast and this guest came in because I said in one of the previous podcasts, which people from the show listen to, I said, "Don't give me any more Hunter Biden's laptop." That was my criticism of like talking about things that are important, and it was like, "Don't give me this crap. This is crap," and and so of course you have the guest who is, I mean, I don't know who this guy is. Well, I'll put it this way. I decided to listen because I actually did not know if this was potentially true. I'm not up to date on my QAnon. Basically, I have not been browsing the forums where this. I'm not on Facebook. Like I don't see any of this crap anymore. So I did not know if this was real, and I was like, does Adam have like the best scoop ever? I'm gonna download, and I did. I clicked that. I clicked that, and I downloaded, and I started listening. And Adam, I'll tell you what I do like. Adam started the show like before the ads, and he was like, "Hey, it's a one-on-one with Tony Bobolinski. I think you're going to be turned on. Like, listen to this." And I was like, "You're right. I am kind of turned on. This is my wheelhouse. This is politics. This is crime. This is uh, people speaking out. Like, I don't know who this guy is, right? Well, as as the podcast actually started a few minutes into it, um, I got the heebie-jeebies pretty quick, but it was about 9 minutes in before I just called a spade and was like, okay, I see what's going on here. But before I get there, let's just talk a little. I actually want to talk about something interesting. So the Tony Bobulinski guy is a bullshitter. That's 100%. Even from listening to him for 5 minutes, you can obviously tell that. Also, one thing that people do and people project and they overcompensate for things is immediately the first thing he said was how Adam has a large listener base. And that was the first cue that I knew something was up. But because it's not something you say if you are the guest that you say you are. It's something you say if you you can't help but project the real reason you're there. And the real reason there is because he thinks he has a large user base, actually. And he also wants to compliment Adam because that's what those kind of people do. But that was the first thing that came out of his mouth. He said, I want to set the stage for your large listener base. And then he went on a rant about how Trump um, only lost by a sum of 28,000 votes or something in 3 states or something like that. He started naming like Wisconsin, Arizona, and Michigan or something. Um, well, I mean, I could have just stopped right there because anybody who wants to frame math in a retarded way, that's the way they do it. So, what he's saying is that it doesn't matter that Biden got 4 or 5 or 6 million more votes, whatever it was. It was at least 3 million more. It only matters that in 26,000 states you could rearrange it so potentially Trump could have potentially tied, right? So so when you go on the Adam Carolla show, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is unlogical like that. And like you I want to set the stage and let you know that I'm biased. I'm biased and I don't care about rational thought. Then that's the way you do it. And that's what he did. Now here's the scary part. This is the scariest of everything here. I was listening to Adam, and Adam believes this shit. Adam is the world's worst actor. And Adam actually is interested in this. And I think that in a just a weird sadistic manner, Adam is thinking that this is the kind of thing that will get him viewers. And he's kind of right, actually. I downloaded this show because I was shocked. I was like, what? But then, I mean, fool me once, shame on you. This is fool me a million times that I've done this. I go back and I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be this bad. It is this bad. Adam believes this shit. He sounded like he believed it. He can't act. No, he doesn't know how to fake it. So Adam like is looking. I guess there's something about looking for the conspiracy theory that we all have. It just whichever conspiracy theory I think you latch onto can sometimes keep you hooked. So man, this podcast is not for the thinker. It's not for someone who yeah, but if Adam was trying to find a guest that would annoy the people in this subforum the most, it's this type of guy. But I will say I downloaded it for 10 minutes. And then I realized it was completely worthless. That's right. But I finished my comment here saying that I turned it off when the guy said, I really glad to see what Herschel Walker's doing in Georgia. He said something to that effect, or like, I'm really interested to see how Herschel Walker's doing in Georgia, like good things. Well, um, if you've caught any of Herschel Walker and who won't even like when your own family has to come out against your political running, like there's something wrong with you because you couldn't even get your family under control. That they have to speak out against you. That's how you know somebody's bad. And it's usually Republicans that do this because Republicans have to lead a double life, one where you're just completely lying and performing because that's what you do. You don't think, you just perform. And so what you have here is you have a performer. Tony Bobolinski is a performer. Um, and I don't believe anything out of that guy. And you shouldn't either. Um, yeah. I mean, I would go through the whole podcast and identify, go line by line, but it's a waste of time. You can tell right away. And it's just unfortunate for all of us that, yeah, that the career of Adam Carolla is a freaking tragedy. Like, I mean, must have been what happened to the Romans, right? They 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 ingested all of this mercury in their piping system and all got brain damage and started listening to the Bob Belinsky, right? Just complete horseshit because I won't speculate on why, but it just is right now. Like Adam is believing this obvious Santa Claus nonsense. I mean, it's um yeah. Yeah. Seriously, Coffee's for those. I thought this podcast was at least a step above Q. Whoops. Hey Juana. But he might as well bring in the scholars of the baby set. Yeah, like he's done this with some guests before. But this made me laugh. Big Biden penis is on the laptop. Um, yeah. All right. Well, I'll speak to someone here, which will get my Asian girlfriend angry, but it will answer a question, which is, okay, Baby Butters. You've probably heard of this Bobolinski guy. I've never heard of him before. What is your opinion of this guy? Did you find him believable? Or, well, I don't know. I want to know. So that's my question. Good luck, everyone. May all your podcasts be enjoyable. This one was something to know, but something to experience for a few minutes. But overall, it's sad. It's sad that Adam is doing a while. Hey, all right, let's finish on a positive note here. At least there was no Gina. Okay. Good luck. May all your podcasts be enjoyable.